Hello, we're coming to you live from an undisclosed park bench in Wentworth Falls. Hopefully there isn't too much background noise. This is Kath.
And Alex.
And I'm also here.
Who's I?
Good question.
God, you're so mysterious.
That's
undisclosed location
right
and an
there.
undisclosed third guest,
So,
who you may have identified already from his voice.
The bookshop owner, formerly known as Zach.
do we really want to... Should we start again?
No.
So we're going to talk about the... shit, I've lost it
The
already.
ABC
I knew this would
Radio
happen.
National Top 100 Book Countdown.
Oh, now I'm on Service New South Wales.
Okay.
What the?
How to get a pink slip.
Why don't you do some talking and I'll...
So we did our top 10 votes.
What
and
was this competition? Or
it was ABC Radio National top books. You had to put your top 10 books in the...
Top 100 books of the 21st
century.
century.
So I couldn't put the Bone People, which was rubbish.
Yeah.
And everyone could vote 10 votes. And then they put them all together. And there were... How many votes were there? I had it up.
Almost 300,000.
Almost
Almost
300,000.
300,000. Yeah.
votes.
Quite a lot.
There's some very interesting stats on the ABC website if you guys are interested in checking them out. But we're going to react to a few of them now.
Yeah, and react to ones that, I don't know. I don't think... A few of them I was like, really? But... I don't know, they are popular. Anyway, so number one was The Book Thief. No, it wasn't. See, I told you I shouldn't be in charge of stats. I'm off Service New South Wales. Yeah, number one was not The Book Thief.
Okay, so the winning book, the number one book of the 100 books of the 21st century by popular vote was Boy Swallows Universe by Trent Dalton. Who here has read it?
I've read it.
Okay, I haven't. Zach, have you?
No, I haven't, but
No.
I also... From what I know about it, I'm a little bit surprised it's the best book of the 21st century.
No, it was very good, and it was quite
but
different.
The best book of the 21st century?
Yeah, I
All
was...
the books published since 2000?
Yeah, but the thing is, I was surprised, but then also think about how popular it is. Like, if you look at the top 10, so many of those are people come in wanting to buy. So if you think about it from our perspective, I know it's good, but it didn't make me go, oh God, I wouldn't reread it.
Well, one stat that they published was the year most books were published, the year most books submitted for the voting were published was 2023. So something we talked about was recency bias and whether or not...
It's so true.
Yeah, I think this list would be totally different even if it was done next year.
Yeah.
You know,
I
like...
agree.
Yeah.
I don't know, and it, like a lot of them, yeah, as you say, like, I don't know, a lot of them I just kind of, I don't really get the hype behind.
some of them actively make me mad, but I don't want to offend any of our listeners.
Well,
so.
I'll offend some of our listeners. Gentleman in Moscow is rubbish.
How many
There,
Australian
I said it.
authors were in the top 10. It's interesting an Australian writer was number one.
There were 4 Australian authors in the top 10.
Including my bae, Hannah
good.
Kent.
Which
Good
is
balance,
a pretty good representation.
She was number
there were
6.
26 Australian authors in the top 100 as a whole. So almost half of the top 10, but only a quarter
Which
of
is
the list
good. I mean, there's
overall.
some incredible
I
Australian
think that makes
writers.
sense.
Yep, absolutely. So the next one, should we go through?
Yeah, let's go through. Is it the
The
book
top
thief?
10 at least, yeah. Number 2 was The Book
See,
Thief.
that I can get behind. That's a good book. I really enjoyed that. I read it a long
Me
time
too.
ago.
I think it's starting to be taught in some, or has been taught already in like some schools,
Well,
like
that's
part of the
good.
school curriculum.
Because it teaches about Nazis and
And
stuff
it's,
too. and-
historical fiction. I do think that's one that's kind of like a modern classic.
Yeah, and I
It
think
feels
that,
like it
that
deserves
holds
to
up.
be on the list.
Like I think if I reread that, I'd still enjoy it. Whereas Boy Swallows Universe to some extent, but yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think The Book Thief makes sense to me. I can get behind that.
Yeah. Number 3 was A Gentleman in Moscow.
I didn't even finish it. Did not finish. And I know this is unpopular opinion, but okay. Do you know what the premise is? So basically, this old guy.
Yeah, I've heard you rant about it a few times. So
Yeah, but
Well, no, 'cause
I'm
everyone
saying
loves
no
it.
for the
Everyone
for
loves it.
listeners.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, basically it's this old guy and he can't leave the hotel because, I can't even remember. I think
In
it was
Russia.
like in Russia and he was like one of the nobles and so if he leaves he'll get arrested, so he has to stay in a hotel. But like it's a really fancy hotel where you can get your hair cut. And then he starts hanging out with a young girl. And like, I don't know, it felt really weird and creepy to me. And then everyone's like, no, it's not. It's of its time. And I'm like an old man hanging out with a young girl and being like, oh, you're a dancer. I don't know. And then they were like, they took away some of his stuff. And he was like, oh no, this is so hard. And it's like, yeah, but you'd be in prison otherwise. And you're in a really fancy hotel.
I'm just not sure that you're giving me the full picture here.
No, I'm not
That
because I
can't-
didn't finish it.
Can I
Right,
also
okay.
just come
But
back to
people
the fact
loved
that
it.
your definition of a fancy hotel is you can get a haircut?
No,
How many fancy hotels are you staying in?
How many? Okay, have you ever stayed in a hotel where you could get a haircut, like a fancy one in the lobby?
Yes, I have.
Have you?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but you.
Oh,
You.
Oh, but you.
Yeah, you would have, but I haven't. Mind you're a fancy hotel, like they give you, they top up the shampoo and conditioner.
So can I just say, of the top 3, I've read 1. What about
Really?
you, Zach? Yeah.
Although you have quite, you
zero.
read a lot more indie
Well,
stuff.
how many non-fiction books are in the top 10?
Well, hang on,
Well,
keep
yeah,
going.
there was a heavy fiction.
So what's
Yeah,
next?
of course it was.
And Kath has read all 3 of the top 3, right?
Well, no, I didn't finish.
Well, close
Well
enough.
done, Kath.
Number 4 was All the Light We Cannot See.
Oh, that was very good, actually. That holds up. That was very good. And again, German Nazis. People love books about Nazis, eh?
Yeah, they do.
They do.
Especially German ones.
Do you know, I think there's been enough talk about how true crime enjoyment is problematic. I think we need to move on to the World War
Right?
II historical
I totally
fiction.
agree.
The
There's so many more
fetishization
wars.
of Nazis.
Yeah. Have
Yep.
you noticed too? A lot of the books in our shop, you look at the historical
disagree.
fiction. No. Have you looked?
Totally
Have you
disagree.
looked at the Fiona McIntoshes?
Yes, I'm aware of that. Do you know why it features so heavily? Because it was one of the most traumatic, greatest conflicts in human history that spanned the world. And it impacted so many people.
I mean, that's
There's
true in
so
terms of-
many
but
different
think about-
acts of bravery and dishonesty.
But you could look at other
disgrace
wars
and
for that,
loyalty. No, but none of them were as widespread. Or there has been no great war more recent than World War II. There's a reason why it's
In the
so
Western world.
huge in the popular. It's not. What are you talking about in the Western world? That doesn't make any sense at all. It was truly a genuine world war. There was
Yeah.
very few parts of the planet that weren't impacted in some way.
I guess that's true.
It's the greatest story of the 20th century.
But
That's
these stories
why
often
it's
focus on
so relevant.
German. Like, they don't focus on allies.
I was going to say there's a huge span of experiences people could be writing about in World War II historical fiction books, and they represent a very sort of narrow, like, do you know what I mean?
They don't
They're
have the
mostly
allies
set in
to
Germany or in
Germany.
England.
They're
And-
usually about the Allies combating Germans. They're not written about just Nazis. They're about the Allies.
No,
But it's
Beating
always
the
Germans.
Nazis. True.
It's always Germans. They never look at, like, Italy or, I don't know, any of the...
That's not true either. That's not true at all.
I can't think of one.
It's primarily focused on Germany, but
I think
again,
we could say there's an over-representation.
in the Anglo
maybe.
world, Germany was the number one enemy. But if you look at books about World War II written in China, it will be all about Japan.
No, which
It
one
won't
I
be-
totally-
I
No,
completely,
I
can I
don't.
just
I'm
say,
talking about
I
fiction as
completely
well.
understand
I'm
the
talking about
appeal,
Yeah.
like I understand the appeal of true crime to people, but I'm just saying I feel like there's probably a discussion to be had about people's enjoyment of it.
Well, if you look at Pachinko, that's about
I don't
Korean
understand
people in
that. How is
Japan.
that problematic? Like,
I'm not saying it's problematic, I'm just saying...
You did. I'm pretty sure. We'll
True
go back
crime.
and have a look. But I'm pretty sure
Okay.
you did say it
I
was
said
problematic.
there's been a lot of talk about how true crime is problematic, and I maybe a little bit jokingly was like, I think it's time we shift the conversation because I'm sick of being the target, I'm sick of people looking down on people who enjoy true crime. So.
Like it's a story of. It's very easy to map it out as a story between good and evil,
Yeah.
and that is the easiest,
Yeah, I suppose.
most
yeah.
widely read story of all time.
Do
Do you think we scared the person away from the undisclosed bench we were sitting next
Possibly.
to?
Whoops.
Like it's kind of weird to me there aren't more historical fiction books about World War II.
There's
Really.
there's
There's
plenty.
so
I know
many.
there's a lot, but
like,
it's-
I could pick out 20.
It's just it's an unlimited, and there's still so many people doing podcasts about
Yeah.
non-fiction of World War II so many years later because there are just it's an insane number of stories that came out of that.
For sure.
So it doesn't surprise me at all that it's the most common, probably one of the most common themes in fiction, historical fiction at least.
All right. And that they've
So,
been... It's well represented in the top 10, that's for sure.
Yeah.
All right, well, that was a good discussion. Move on to the next one.
Number 5, is it?
Yep. Number
Oh,
5.
Lessons in Chemistry.
How many Nazis in Lessons in Chemistry?
Would have been more interesting with some. That's all I can say.
You're one of the few people I know who doesn't like this book.
I hate this book.
But
Just
people
need to make sure
love
everyone's
this
heard.
book. Like, you are definitely in the minority. Although that's me with Gentlemen in Moscow as well. Why didn't you like it? Because people thought it was like quite feminist and she was standing up for herself.
It's vapid and shallow and just ridiculous. And
How do you really feel?
I think you
I've
be
made
honest,
it pretty
be honest.
clear. And very, like, just kind of this brand of feminism that is well outdated by 2025, but was not the type, I think, that most people would have been expressing in the 50s when it's set. It's just very strange, and there's all these weird I don't know. Like, okay, so the main character is a chemist, and there's this one part, she has a cooking show, and there's this one part where
Wait a
she's
minute,
talking
a
about...
female chemist?
I know.
Whoa.
Mind
See, it's
blowing.
feminist, I told you.
And there's this one part where on her cooking show, she's talking
There you go.
about canned soups and how they're full of chemicals. I'm sorry, that is the most... Everything is made of chemicals. Everything. There's like chemical
In the
compounds in
50s,
everything that
though.
you... As if she would have been saying that in the 50s. She would have been like, look at this amazing preservative technology. What the fuck are you talking about? It's like... Oh
good
my
point.
God. It was things like that on every second page.
Is it an
that
alternate
just,
reality? Kind of.
No, it's supposed to be serious historical fiction.
Okay.
And there's a dog that is really smart and can communicate with people, like basically a talking dog. Like it doesn't talk, but it's basically a talking dog.
It's not an alternate reality.
No.
But dogs can talk.
Yes. No, this one dog, because it's super smart, because it's related to...
Like talk
it's
as in
it's
I'm
this
talking
woman's dog.
right now?
I can't remember how it's executed. I feel like it was... Like, you know how you see there are those dogs on TikTok that supposedly can talk and they press,
Who are you
they press
talking to?
buttons?
Oh, yeah,
You
okay.
guys. And they like press buttons
like
and it's
TikTok.
like want, walk, go, now.
Can you imagine
but like
Echo?
so
Echo,
obviously...
Food,
well,
food,
yeah,
food.
but it's like...
Food,
They've
yes.
probably had 1,000 takes of that. That dog is not...
Yeah, for sure.
Or that dog knows that you react well when it presses particular buttons,
Yeah.
so that's why it's pressing walk. Because you go,
There's
good
some very
job.
interesting research around that, actually.
What does this
Yeah.
have to do with listening to chemistry?
I feel like that was how the dog communicated, but I might
right.
be wrong. My point is it doesn't communicate by talking, but there's some mechanism like that where it does. It's very clever and it communicates. And it's just stupid. This book wanted to have its cake and eat it too. Like, it wanted to be a serious commentary, but it also wanted to be absurd, but it wanted you to take the absurdity seriously. I cannot wrap my head around why people liked it. I can't.
I was just about to ask you, why do you think people like it?
People love it.
I
People
don't
love
know.
it.
I
Like-
don't know. Like, without being insulting, I don't have a good theory. So,
You'll be insulting them.
God.
well, just that they're not thinking very deeply about the books they read. They're like, oh, on a surface level, it's entertaining.
But maybe
and yeah,
that's
it
what
is. Like,
people
it's
want from a book. There's nothing wrong with wanting an entertaining book. Like,
read an entertaining book. That's good. But you know what I mean?
No,
You can-
I don't. Like, sometimes it's nice to, as I said, like with Maeve Binchy. Like, sometimes there's time
That's
for
fine,
Maeve
but then
Binchy.
don't call it. Be like, oh, I read this really trashy
Feminist
book. Yeah, don't call it
masterpiece.
It's not
exactly.
trashy.
It is.
It is not.
trashy.
You've never read Maeve Binchy, so you can't even talk. It's not trashy.
Well,
It is
Did you read
trashy.
Lessons in Chemistry?
I picked it up twice, 3 times,
Oh.
and I just...
Yeah, and what did you think of it, Kath?
Yeah, fair. I can't comment because I haven't read it. I don't know, but I don't know. It just doesn't appeal to me, even though people say... And the problem is, like, I'm so indie, you know, I don't like the mainstream books. But the thing is, often people
Sound like
read
Alex.
books and I don't like them that much. And I'm just like, I don't know. I don't want to read a book because of the hype. Because, what's that one? Dictionary of Lost Words. Like, it was good. But
there
it wasn't
are-
like everyone's like, oh my God.
Can I say-
It was amazing. I'm like, I mean, it was fine.
Can I say I've read a lot of books that are like quite popular. Like, before we started recording, we were talking about Yellowface, that were like quite popular. I can understand the appeal. Didn't really like do it for me. Like, didn't light a fire for me. I'm like, whatever. I read it. It was entertaining while I was reading it. This book made me angry. Lessons in Chemistry made me angry because it was so frustrating, and I ended up powering through because I wanted to make 100% sure that I hated it all the way through and that I could articulate
Hate
why.
reading.
So
It's now
you
been like
finished it.
2 years, so I finished
You're
it.
still angry. I can see.
Yeah, when I talk about it, because it made it to the top 5.
But
Top
are you
5 of the-
surprised by that? No, I know you didn't like it, but considering how much everyone else loves it, I wasn't surprised.
I thought it would have made an appearance on the list. It surprises me that it is this high.
Yeah.
It
When did
really
come out?
surprises
Not that
me
long ago.
because
3 years, maybe?
because the nature of this kind of thing is that the voters are self-selecting. Like, they are going to be real readers. Like, not that there really is. I don't like to make that distinction between like real and fake readers. Like, if you're reading a book, you're a reader. But I don't know. I just thought with the people that were choosing to participate in this, that Lessons in Chemistry wouldn't be so high up. You know?
No, but see, the people I know who love it, it's a range. Like, it's something that a lot of different people. So people who would also finish this and then read a really, you know, I don't know how to say it. Like, people who would read a lot more like I guess literature that's a bit harder to read, but then people who love reading like chick lit. Like, it's wide spanning. It's popular among a wide range of people. And maybe that's why it's so high,
See,
because
I
it's
haven't really
relatable.
found that. I've found that the people who really like this tend to read. Not everybody, for sure. Like, I know a few people that like it, that read very widely. But But I think most of the people I've spoken to have a very particular taste, and it's like this kind of book.
Did you ever read My Year of Meat by Ruth Ozeki?
No.
I might have said it wrong. Ozeki?
I think you said it right.
Yeah, it was really interesting. I don't know if it was set about the same time, but it was a Japanese woman in America, and her job in Japan was getting her to market American meat and be like, you should eat more meat because it's good for you. And it was like and it kind of reminds me of that from what you were saying. It was so interesting, and she had to like, one of them was like Coca-Cola beef, and she was just like, this is so revolting. But she like has to be like, look at this meat is good for you and stuff. It's I think you'd like it. It's very good. Anyway.
Well, if anyone's listening to this podcast and they've read Lessons in Chemistry, maybe they should make a comment and tell us.
Leave a comment. Why do you
they
like it?
And also, you're allowed to like it, just to be very clear.
Of course, of course.
Just be prepared for Alex to respond to your comments.
Yeah,
So.
yeah.
You're not allowed to like Gentleman in Moscow, though. No,
Another thing, how openly are we talking about spoilers in this, or we're not? We're kind of avoiding it.
I think we should
I don't think we should
probably
talk about
avoid
Okay,
it.
all right. Right, because I just remembered another thing that
Can we
annoyed
move
me
on,
about it,
though?
but we'll move on.
Number 6.
We'll move on, number
Hannah
6.
Kent burial rights.
That's like,
I
how
know.
was this
to put
not
them side by
above?
side. Yeah, that's true. That got beaten by Gentleman in Moscow. See,
This
that
got beaten
annoys
out.
me. But you know what?
And
People
by
would,
Lessons in Chemistry,
but
it
you
got
know
beaten
why?
out for the top 5.
Because burial rights is dark and sad. Like, not everyone wants that in a book. And I like it is dark and sad. It's beautiful, but it isn't like you're not walking away going, "Oh God, that was." I feel really, good after reading that. And I mean, I tend to read more books that are dark. Like, it's not a deliberate thing; it just happens. But yeah, like that. I mean, number 1, obviously, as we know, should be there. Oh, I see, and it's funny because I didn't vote for her memoir. I thought about it, but that's just come out. I thought about voting it in my top 10, but I thought about that recency.
I know.
thing.
I tried when I was
tried
doing
really
the voting.
hard.
I tried really
I know.
hard to have a range
Same.
of publication dates. Because otherwise it would have all been stacked with the things I remember best, which are obviously the things I've read most recently. But I don't know whether everyone had the same philosophy, but that's okay.
They clearly did not.
Number 7, Dictionary of Lost Words by Pip Williams. I haven't read.
Feminist masterpiece.
So
I
hear.
think if you didn't like Lessons in Chemistry, you might not like this. It is interesting, though. It's about
I think the Dictionary of Lost Words, from what I hear, is more interested in being accurate historically.
Well, it's got the women's suffrage movement, but it's also, I found it interesting because I never thought about the fact that there was no dictionary and someone had to start one. And obviously that's true, but it was really interesting and what was included and what wasn't. And
There's a funny Blackadder episode about this very topic,
Yeah?
actually. Yeah, where Samuel Johnson creates the first dictionary, and Blackadder just messes with his brain by making up new words. Samuel
sounds
Johnson's like,
right.
oh, I didn't include that one. I have to start again. It's amazing. Anyway, sorry.
No,
Digress.
that's a good tangent.
Yeah, but they made that into a play. People loved it. I liked it, but I didn't bother with the Bookbinder of Jericho because I thought it was good, but not like I didn't love it as much as everyone else. It was good. It was fine.
Demon Copperhead by Barbara Kingsolver.
Yeah, people love that book. I haven't read it though because I read that stupid butterfly one by her, and it made me really mad.
Stupid butterfly.
It was
Also, what puts me off is that it's based on
David Copperfield.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like a retelling of
And I don't think
David
I've read
Copperfield.
David
I just haven't read any
Copperfield.
Charles Dickens. Like, I've read extracts or maybe a
Yeah.
short story here or there, but I haven't read any Charles Dickens, and I'm afraid. So
The thing is, the Barbara Kingsolver too, she writes tomes like because I read Poisonwood Bible, blah, but that one someone chose it for a book club I was part of where we read the same book, and the premise was really interesting. It was about butterflies. What is it called? Migrating, and then it was about climate change and how it changed. But it was honestly like it would have been 900 pages. I got to a book club and no one else finished it, and I was like, "That's the whole point of book club."
well,
And so it's kind of put me off her. Oh God!
the
Speaking
next
of long
book is a
books,
tome. I was going to say A Little Life by Hanya Yanagihara. Another book that makes me mad.
Yep, one.
I
you
don't
hate.
need to have as big a rant about A Little Life.
You could do
I've
your own
grown.
chat about.
I feel like recency bias is a huge
Factor.
part
No,
of why this book is
I
there
disagree
more
with
than
that
anything else.
because people who read that they say it's the best book
No, I
they've ever
understand
read in
that,
their life.
but I don't.
They don't
think-
say that about
I think that's
Lessons in
sharply.
Chemistry.
I think that's quite a big divide, though. I think there's a lot of people who don't like it.
Yes.
There's a lot
It's
of
not
people
one of
hate
those
it.
books where some people, like Alex, passionately hate it, but most people like it.
Yeah.
I think it's fairly, in my experience, fairly evenly divided between people who love it and hate it, which
But
makes it
the people
weird
who
to me
love
that
it
would be
love it. Like they love it. So that's the thing. It would have been people wouldn't have even had
And
to
I
think
do
about
think
it
they
being
are
top
the
10.
majority. Like, I think there's a significant
Most
minority
people.
that
Yeah.
really...
It's probably like
yeah.
70-30.
But I think the likers just, like, eke it out.
It
you
is
know?
also a book that very much sticks in your head, though.
Yeah.
If you're asked to think about all the books you've read in the last 25 years, that's one that's going to stand out.
You're not going to forget 720 pages of torture porn.
No, you're not.
So
No, exactly right.
Hey, and there was no, Nazis in it, as far as we knew.
True.
no,
Yeah, so there you go. It was...
should have added that in. Why not? Like, he already had a laundry list.
He could have just
of
met a Nazi
trauma.
on the road, and then
Yeah.
they
Beaten
were
up
like...
by skinheads.
Why not?
Yeah.
Like, one that had fled to Argentina or something and then come back and just decided to take it out on Jude.
Poor old Jude,
Just like everyone else.
Just like everyone else.
Poor Jude.
And then number 10 is Wolf Hall.
See, that's
Which
an older one that
you
is
were
held
going
up.
to
I've
read
got it.
recently.
Set aside. It's on my TBR.
Yeah.
I really want to read it.
It's such a... I actually haven't... One, because isn't it about Jude Stewart? And I'm like...
Yeah.
11.
And it's like, it's such a huge tome. And then there's like, is it a trilogy or a quadrilogy?
Can't remember. There's at least
Bring Up
I
the
don't
Bodies
know.
is a
Couple books, I
separate
think.
book?
I'm not sure.
I can't remember.
It's number 2, I think.
But yeah, people, that I feel like,
Wolf Hall makes sense
Makes
to me.
sense.
Yeah.
and number 11.
Number 11,
I voted
which
for
I was
that.
just whisper pointing out to Kath, Small Things Like These by Claire Keegan.
And that's recent, but that
That is recent, but it's beautiful.
I thought about not including it because of the
I
recency
don't think
virus.
it's as recent
Virus?
as it feels, because I feel like Claire Keegan,
She's
a lot of
written
the
a lot,
books,
yeah.
she's written quite a few novellas that have just gotten really popular recently.
Yeah.
But
When that was made
it's
into
more
a
like,
movie, yeah.
it's more like people have discovered her rather than
Yeah.
she's only just started putting stuff out.
Yeah, Irish writers at the moment. There's such good stuff coming out of
How
Ireland.
many books are we going to go through in the list?
I think just the top 10
Okay.
is probably good.
Was
I was
it-
just having a scroll ahead.
It'd be good to talk about some of the stats too, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're quite interesting.
Did you want to have
How long have we been going for so far?
We're at 21 minutes. We could do another 5.
Okay, yeah, that's
Yep.
cool.
All right.
So I guess most of the votes were women. That's usually...
Let's have a
No, it
look.
was there.
It wasn't that
Was it?
Oh, no, that was
Oh,
the writers.
it wasn't
Female
that
authors.
large, the number of women versus men. I thought it would be larger.
Voters by gender, 75% female and 17% male, 6% not stated, and 2% non-binary / no
Okay,
gender.
that is quite a large difference.
That I expected,
I
though.
thought
If you
To
look
be
at the
honest.
customers in our bookshop,
I
that's
think-
probably about the makeup.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
The authors, though, there was a fairly even representation of authors. There was 54% female and 46% male.
Did Tim Winton make it in? I'm
I
surprised
don't
that
know,
he...
but he would have been further down the
Cloud
list.
Street must have been in the top 30
What
at
was that
least.
stat on that you just described? By readers in gender?
Readers, it was 75% voters. 75% female.
Yeah, but what was the stat you read after that?
Authors?
Authors. That
Authors. That was the one that was-
Okay,
yeah.
gotcha. Yeah.
That was quite even.
Yeah,
the other
that
one
makes
wasn't.
sense. Okay, cool.
And the Hunger Games made it in, which was interesting.
Also, though, I do think that's also reflected by the fact that there's so much fiction in here, in
Yeah.
the list, rather than non-fiction, and I think it's pretty clear that men generally read more non-fiction than fiction. So, and I don't think a lot of
Yeah.
non-fiction...
Stasi Land was
readers-
in there.
And wifedom.
Sorry.
I'm
I
not,
interrupted.
okay,
Sorry.
obviously,
Yeah.
I never said there was no
No, I was just
non-fiction
excited
on the
because I
list.
No,
voted for
but
that. And I was like,
you're
yay!
right.
And I generally think non-fiction readers wouldn't be voting in an ABC.
Yeah,
No.
it'd be interesting to
And
see.
this,
It's
so
also,
that's
that.
well, I was going to say
Yeah.
it's interesting that they haven't even included a stat about the percentage of fiction to non-fiction.
Yeah.
It's like it's
That's a good
assumed
point.
it was just about novels,
Yeah.
which is not the case. Like it was books.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true. The first non-fiction is Wifedom at 17. And then Dark Emu at 18.
But
Also,
even Wifedom is kind of like a narrative non-fiction
Yeah.
as well. It's
Yeah.
not,
Oh, Elena Ferrante. She made it in.
Anyway, any other stats?
I was just going to say Anna Funda and Geraldine Brooks both had 3 books in there, which
Yeah,
is
wow.
pretty impressive.
That is.
Yeah.
It is
haven't
interesting
read
how
any
many of these are
Geraldine
Australians.
Brooks.
Look, yeah, Tim Winton Breath is
Well,
38.
I
would've
Australian
thought he'd be
voters,
Yeah,
you know.
I don't think that's
Dirt music.
unusual.
Well, we're coming up on 25 minutes. Kath has taken the stats and is silently scrolling through them,
Yep.
so it's a bit difficult
Makes-
for
Sorry.
me.
Makes
I was
for-
just looking
for
at
great
the numbers.
listening.
It's a bit difficult for me to
Sorry.
provide any
Let's-
interesting
everyone be
commentary.
quiet while Catherine quietly scrolls through
Yeah.
the phone.
Hey, Alex, what did you think of Lessons in Chemistry? There you go. There's another 10 minutes of...
Do we have any concluding thoughts?
There should be more non-fiction on the list.
Yeah?
I think.
not that
personally.
surprising. Yeah.
I think the recency biases really impacts the results. There's nothing you can do about that, I don't think. It was always going to be the case.
I guess unless you were like books published, you sort of put a limit on it, like it was books that were published before 2020 or something.
Yeah.
To kind of
Well, it did
help
kind of have
regulate.
a limit in that
Yeah.
it was 21st century.
I know, but kind of excluding the past 5 years or something.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Yeah, that might have been a good way to go,
And
actually.
there's
Yeah.
quite a few book top books as well. They're not super high, but you can, like, tomorrow,
Yes.
tomorrow, and tomorrow. There's,
Yeah.
what is that, Evelyn
That makes
Hugo
sense.
one?
I wouldn't
The
say
Seven
that's
Husbands?
just, yeah.
But they became popular. I bet you one day will be in there.
Song
David
of Achilles,
because
yeah.
that was a book that has been around for ages, but Book Talk
Circe.
made it popular.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cersei
I would also make a comment that it wasn't the easiest
Also,
piece of software to use,
Yeah.
because I know quite a few people didn't know that they could add their own titles that weren't on the list.
Yes.
I know that because I wasn't sure of that to begin with as well.
Yes.
And most of the books I read weren't on.
Yeah, and then I
already on the
wonder if you
drop-down.
did do write-ins, if, some people misspelled
Yeah.
the titles or if there were formatting issues, would your votes have been compiled?
I think they did have some sort of algorithm that knew what book you were referring to, generally speaking.
Okay.
When
not
I
always.
did it,
I
it
had
looked
to
like it.
type them, and when I put in my Frederick Backman, it didn't know.
No,
it.
I know, but then
Yeah.
I think that it did identify it though as
Yeah.
being a particular type of book. I don't think there would have been a lot of those kind of errors that crept into it. But
Also, can we talk about the fact that Where is the Green Sheep is number 76? Mem Fox, like that's a kid's book.
Can we talk about the fact that I don't think there's a single horror book on here?
Yeah.
That's my gripe.
good point.
Zach's like, more non-fiction. I'm
Yeah.
like, one horror.
Yeah.
1 out of 100. Come on, guys. But
Really,
anyway.
not a single.
Sounds
one.
Not a
like
single one.
Lessons in Chemistry was a horrible
It
read
was
for you,
horrific,
so-
yeah. It horrified me.
Yeah, it's true. There aren't, are there?
No.
Yeah.
Oh, isn't that? What's that?
Go with the dragon tattoo.
That's horrific.
That's crime.
So-
Yeah, but it's crime.
there's, I guess
I
so.
would
But
say.
yeah, there's some horrific.
Kath, do you have any concluding thoughts?
No, I want to go through and see how many I've read of them, but a lot of them are ones that as I said, I think
Yeah,
a lot of ones I think deserve to be higher. Like Pachinko, I think should have been higher. That was
Shout
brilliant.
out to Susan as well, who I think read 54 of the 100.
Yeah,
Yes.
that was
So
impressive.
that's
Yes,
very
shout out to
impressive.
Susan.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I would have read that many for sure. Yeah, I think it's kind of a fun little
Yeah.
census of books, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was so hard to vote though. I had so many that were like I kept going back and changing it and changing it and changing it, and then I saved it and I was like I should have added that. I should have added that. You know, there were a few that I thought of after, but yeah,
Oh, well.
cool.
Cool.
All right.
Well, thanks for listening, guys.
Yeah.
How do we sign off usually?
So remember to like, comment, and subscribe.
Smash that like button.
That's right.
Smash that like
How are you
button
going to subscribe?
to the
do?
YouTube channel.
Oh, didn't even know.
Catherine is our resident boomer. On
I'm also the social media
podcast.
person. lol.
Yeah.
Jesus.
All right.
Cool.
Let's stop
Bye.
there. Okay, bye.
Bye.